What's happening, folks? It's been a while since I've been on this. Don't know why I've not made a video, but I'm making one now. Let's grab my cup of tea. I just want to recap on what's going on in the last couple of weeks. I've not been on since obviously Fury and Ngannou fight. Quick touch on that because I want to talk about the biggest fight in boxing right now. People are going to say Usyk and Fury for the heavyweight undisputed title. Valid argument. But I think there's a fight that I think is bigger, the biggest boxing that can be made, and I'll let that know. But I just want to touch on a couple of weeks ago, Francis Ngannou and Tyson Fury. This is a nerve-wracking fight for me because I said Tyson Fury would blow him out in the 4 rounds. I was wrong. I think Francis Ngannou surprised a lot of us, and fair play to him. But when I watched the fight back, I think Tyson Fury won because you've got to. The bigger rounds were won by Francis Ngannou, but the quieter rounds were won by Tyson Fury, and I think there were a lot more quieter rounds than there was big rounds. 3rd round knockdown, I think maybe the 6th round as well for Ngannou, but the quieter rounds were won by Tyson Fury. I think maybe a round or 2 in it for Tyson. I think that's a valid scoreline. But listen, it sets up for the Usyk fight for Undisputed, which looks like it's going to be penciled in for February now. The December 23rd date is out the equation. So February time, we're looking for that. But for me, the reason I want to jump on, because it's been a while since I've been on, is I think the biggest fight for me right now in boxing is Fury and Joshua. Not just here in the UK, because here in the UK, it'd be unbelievably huge. Do you know what I mean? Both of them have got market value in terms of the gate they pull, the fan base they have. So that fight alone here in the UK would be massive. But I think them two getting it on for the undisputed title after, if the ideal scenario is Fury beats Usyk, becomes undisputed, then defends his titles against Anthony Joshua. Whether that be, if that's in the UK, it'll be an absolute astronomical event. And it'll capture the imagination with the US audience as well, and in the Middle East, and everyone around, every single boxing fan, casual boxing fan around the world. It'll capture their imagination. So for me, in boxing right now, the biggest fight that can be made is Tyson Fury versus Anthony Joshua. I think that's a no-brainer. I just think commercially, gate, pay-per-views, I think that'll do numbers, because the two of them, they have had words to say about each other in interviews and whatnot. I think that when they come face to face, there has been these little back and forth between the two of them. When it comes face to face, I think that's when the argy-bargy will come, the needle will come. Everything that goes with a big heavyweight fight like that. Do you know what I mean? I'm not going to say it's going to be like a Mike Tyson type press conference when he's annoyed, or a Lennox Lewis. I can't remember, who did Lennox Lewis not jump, but had a fight with at a press conference. Was it Riddick Bowe? I need to look that up. Maybe somebody can comment and let me know, because I can't quite remember. When he had a punch up, I don't think it's going to be that type of thing, but I think they will go for it. And I think right now, when you look at it, Tyson Fury will be the favourite going into it. Just if he beats Usyk, right? Let's say he beats Usyk, and going into that fight, Tyson Fury will be a heavy favourite, regardless of what happened in the Francis Ngannou fight. The Francis Ngannou fight, you can say Tyson probably looked beyond him, because for me, the Usyk fight was announced 3 weeks prior to the Francis Ngannou fight. Okay, he's a human being, Tyson Fury. He's a human being. So in his mind, he's thinking December 23rd, Usyk. Let's just play about with Francis Ngannou. But then obviously Francis surprises all, because he matches Tyson Fury in size, weight and size. So Tyson Fury can't throw his weight about, because Tyson's always been the bigger man in there. The Wilder fights, look how big he was. The Wallen fights, all these fights that he's been in, he's been the bigger man. He's been able to lean on you and squash you, and you know what I mean, and put his weight on you and take your legs away. But Francis Ngannou done that to him. So I think maybe, again, I'm not making any excuses for Tyson. He said it himself, no excuses. It was a tough fight, but I just think that Tyson, he's a human being. If you've got a fight signed before the fight that you've actually fought, and you're thinking about that fight for the undisputed, which means a lot more, you're not going to be focused on Francis Ngannou as much. Do you know what I mean? You're going to be focusing on the Usyk fight, and I think that's probably what crept in, because I think that if Tyson was 100%, I'm not saying he was 100%. Listen, if he was 100% focused, it's a fight. He needs to be, but I just think that maybe a little bit more. If you had a little bit more to it in this fight meant a little bit more. I think we would have seen the best Tyson Fury. I think that maybe he said it wasn't his best performance in as well. So listen, Tyson beats Francis Ngannou in the rematch. I can say that right now because I think that Tyson now knows what Francis Ngannou can produce and what he can offer. I think that he knows what to expect this time, and he'll probably give it more, if that makes sense. But like I say, for me right now, the biggest fight in boxing is Anthony Joshua versus Tyson Fury. And as a boxing fan, I'm from this country, we need to see them get it on. It's selfishly, I need to see them get it on. I want to see that fight. I need to see that fight. I just think it'll be amazing, that fight. I mean, you've got the talks about Joshua Wilder. Yeah, I want to see that fight too, because it's the first one that lands wins. Basically, first right hand that lands between either fighter wins the fight. Usyk and Fury, massive fight. Can't wait to see it. But it's not as big as Joshua Fury. I think that is the fight that needs to be made, and hopefully we can get it on. Hopefully the I don't know, the promoters, the networks, everyone can just get in line, get all these T's crossed and I's dotted, and hopefully in back end of 2024 we can see it. Hopefully in the UK, but we know what the Middle East and Saudi Arabia and what they're doing with boxing, the money that they've got and the show that they put on and stuff like that. So it's going to be a tough one to have it here in the UK. I'm pretty sure the Middle East will want it, but listen, it is what it is. For me, like I said to you, it's the biggest fight in boxing. I know Canelo Benavidez is a big fight. Maybe Crawford Canelo. I mean, there's talks about that. Is that a bigger fight than Joshua Fury? I don't know. I just think that I just feel like this is the fight that we all want to see. Heavyweight boxing is boxing, and then it filters down. And I think that the heavyweight boxing of the past, you had household name after household name and big fights. Lennox Lewis, Tyson, Lennox Lewis, Vander Holyfield, Frank Bruno events, Muhammad Ali events, Mike Tyson events. Do you know what I mean? Red Bull, all these massive names. And I think that Joshua and Tyson Fury just grips the imagination for me. I think you've got the two Brits that don't want to lose, because it's not just about if it is for the undisputed titles, there's bragging rights. Who's the top dog in Britain at boxing? Right? You know what I mean? We've got a crop of young heavyweights here. Joshua and Fury are the two top dogs in the UK, right? And you can argue that on past form that Tyson Fury's number one. I'll probably say that right now, just on form alone. And then obviously if he beats Usyk, he will obviously clearly be favourite in that fight, because Joshua's lost twice to Usyk. But styles make fights. Styles makes fights, and Joshua's got a good team behind him now. And he's starting to get that little bit of a spiteful. We saw that in his last fight against Robert Helenius. He's got, when he landed that big right hand and he was doing the Generation X sign, he's got that spite that we want to see from Joshua. And hopefully he can get more of that. Maybe if he fights again in January, we can get more of that spiteful Joshua, because I think that's the best Joshua, the one that just wants to hurt you, that makes it a 4, 5, 6 round fight. But let me know. Tyson Fury versus Anthony Joshua. Is it the biggest fight in boxing? For me, yes. Do you agree? Leave a comment. Let me know. Boom.